कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
राम राम
राम
हरे
हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
हरे हरे राम।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind association. So we'll change the timings of our Chaitanya Charitamrita as well as Chaitanya Bhagavata reading to 8:30, at least during the summer. So we'll not be having it at 8 o'clock. It will always be 8:30. Bhakti Vaibhav also is 8:30 only. So we'll keep it standard. 8:30 every evening. Thank you. So we are reading from Śrī Caitanya Bhāgavata, Ādi Khaṇḍa chapter 13. And this chapter, number 13, is entitled Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu defeats the Digvijayi Pandit. And all the translations and purports are by His Divine Grace, Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, the beloved, revered spiritual master of our founder Acharya, Om Vishnupad, Paramhamsa, Parivrajaka Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. I think last time we studied till verse number 50, something like that. So we'll continue from verse number 51. अनेक मंडली है सर्व शिष्यगण वसिले न चतुर्दिके परम शोभन Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is around 16 years old, he is performing his Panditya Leela. He is presenting himself as a very great scholar, Nimai Pandit. And he is a teacher in Navadvip. He is teaching grammar, Vyakaran, and he has many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students. He is the most respected, most formidable scholar of his time. He's sitting on the banks of Ganga, surrounded by his students. And Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu Nimai Pandit is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is very beautiful. So as he's sitting, Aneka Mandali hai Sarva Shishyagan, as he's sitting with his Shishyagan, his students, Aneka Mandali, the students are sitting in various groups. Vasilena Chaturdike Parama Shobhana. Parama Shobhana. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is appearing very beautiful. Dharma Katha, Shastra Katha, Ashesha Kautuke, Ganga Tire, Vasiya Achena, Prabhu Sukhe. Prabhu Sukhe, with great jubilation, with great happiness, Nimai Pandit is sitting with his students and he's engaging in Dharma Katha, Shastra Katha. He's talking about Varnashram Dharma and other topics mentioned in our Shastra, revealed scriptures. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes in the purport, the word Dharma Katha refers to ordinary Varnashram topics, which are accessible to our material senses. Ordinary dharma means Desh dharma, Kula dharma, Jati dharma, all these. Laukik dharma means dharma referring to materialistic life. There is a dearth of spiritual knowledge in this world. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada is saying there is a dearth of spiritual knowledge in this world. Isn't this the same instruction that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada gave to our Prabhupada, Abhay Babu? In 1922, in Calcutta, Ultadanga Junction, on the terrace top of the first Gaudiya Math, when Abhay Charan De, who would later on become our founder Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, he went, after being induced by his dear friend Narendra Malik, to take darshan of this very holy sadhu. During their discussion, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said the same thing. There is a dearth of spiritual knowledge in this world. The greatest deficiency in this world is the deficiency of Krishna consciousness, the deficiency of Krishna Katha. There is no other dearth, there is no other deficiency in this world. There is enough money, there is enough politics, there is enough nuclear weapons, there is enough military power, there are enough apps on the smartphone. The only thing that is lacking is Krishna consciousness. There is a dearth of spiritual knowledge in this world. Therefore, instructions for removing the living entity's darkness of ignorance, avidya. Prema bhakti jaha hoite, avidya vinasha jate. Avidya. Ignorance is avidya is the greatest problem in this world. Avidya has to be removed. Administering topics of transcendental knowledge are called Shastra Katha. That is what Shastra Katha means. To take away our darkness of ignorance. Divya Jnana Hriday Prakasha. Verse 53. Kahare na kahi mane bhave na ishware digvijay jinivaya ke mane prakare. Now everybody was telling Nimai about this great Digvijay Pandit who had come to Navadvip. He is so powerful, he is so learned, he comes with a palanquin, he comes with Hathi Ghoda, all these elephants and horses and servants and golden ornaments, and he comes in a big procession, he defeats everyone, makes them sign the Vijay Patra. He's a Digvijay Pandit. Everyone was telling Nimai, all his students were telling. So Nimai Pandit is thinking, this Brahmana has become most proud. Very proud. E viprera hayache maha ahankar. So first he's thinking, Digvijay jinivaya kemane prakare. How shall I defeat this Digvijay? Nimai Pandit is thinking. After all his students told him the glories of this Digvijay Pandit, Keshav Kashmiri, Shri Nimai Pandit is thinking, how should I defeat him? Digvijay Jini Bhaiya means, how should I win over this Digvijay? Kemana Prakara. How should I do it? Verse 54. E viprera haiyache maha ahankar jagate mahara prati dvandvi nahiyar. Nimai Pandit is thinking, this Brahman has become most proud. E viprera haiyache maha ahankar. Why he has become very proud? Because he thinks there is no one in this world to oppose him. Jagate mahara prati dvandvi nahiyar. I don't have a prati dvandvi. I don't have a competent opponent. That's why he has become very proud. And Krishna does not like pride in his devotees. And everybody is a devotee of Krishna. Sabha madhye jaya yadi kariye ihare mritatulya haibeka samsara bhitare. Very important consideration Nimai Pandit is bringing up. Shri Nimai Vishwambhar is saying, if I were to defeat this Digvijay Pandit in a big assembly, Sabha madhye jaya yadi kariye ihare, if I defeat him in a big assembly in front of everyone, in a public place, mrita tulya haibeka samsara bhitare, it would be equal to death for him. Mrita tulya. What does Lord Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? For a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. I think in the second chapter, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that if you do not fight, the opponents will not think, oh Arjun, that you decided not to fight out of compassion for the Kauravas. They will think you got scared and you ran away. And they will only speak of your infamy. They will consider you insignificant. And for a respectable person, for an honorable person, disrespect is worse than death. Mrita tulya haibeka samsara bhitare. If this Digvijay Pandit is, his name is Digvijay, if he is parajit, if he is defeated, if he faces parajay, he faces defeat, it will be worse than death for him. He will not be able to take it. And there is a story that Anand Vrindavan Prabhu tells in his class. In his society in Mumbai, where he used to previously live, there lived a man, and he got married to Miss Mumbai. She was the most beautiful lady in the entire city of Mumbai, Bombay. So he got married to Miss Mumbai. Every year there is a Miss Mumbai. Every year there is a Miss Mumbai. But this lady was once upon a time Miss Mumbai. So when she got married, she came to live in the same apartment society, condominium society as Anand Vrindavan Prabhu. So he knew that couple, this man and his wife, who was Miss Mumbai. And then something happened, and I don't remember the exact story. There was something, I don't know if she got some disease or someone threw acid on her face. Something very bad happened and she got disfigured. Or she got vitiligo, something happened. I don't remember the exact details. I forgot, it was a long time ago. I heard this incident. But because of some misfortune, her face got disfigured. And she could not take it because everyone would make fun of her. It was not make fun, but it was a big blow to her self-esteem. She couldn't take it because all her life she had identified herself as the beauty queen. And she was used to being honored, respected, recognized for her beauty, physical beauty. And when that physical beauty was marred, when that physical beauty was diminished by the arrangement of providence, she could not take it. It was too much to handle. Anand Vrindavan Prabhu said that she committed suicide. She committed suicide. So, if we are used to being honored for a particular reason, then we get attached to it and we start, it becomes our identity. My identity is that I am a doctor. My identity is that I am a businessman. My identity is that I am a successful IT professional. It becomes our identity. But actually, is that our true identity? No. Naham vipro na cha narapatir napi vaishyo na shudro. Naham varni na cha grihapatir no vanastho yatirva. Kintu prodyan nikhila paramananda purnamritabdher. Gopi bhartu padakamalaya dasa dasa dasa. If one thinks that I am dasa dasa anudasa, then there is no question of feeling depressed, because I am just a servant of the servant of the servant. I am the lowest. Verse 56. Viprere laghav kari beka sarva loke lutibe sarvasva vipra mari beke shoke. Everyone would belittle him. Nimai Pandit, Shri Nimai Vishwambhar is thinking, if I defeat him in a public place, everyone will make fun of him. They would plunder his belongings. Lutibe sarvasva, because he had won all that money because of winning different debates all over the country. So now that he has been defeated, people will just loot everything from him. And he would die in lamentation. Vipra maribeka shoke. In shock, in lamentation and sorrow, Vipra maribeka. He will die. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes in the purport, Lord Nimai Vishwambhar is the perfect example of proper conduct and is always respectful to the people of this world. So, for considering all these valid points, Shri Nimai Vishwambhar, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is teaching us how we should be sensitive to other people's feelings. We should not resort to unnecessary violence. This is violence to hurt someone. Violence doesn't have to be physical violence. There can be emotional violence also. And many times, emotional violence is worse than physical violence even. Most people, if you analyze, who commit suicide, a very small minority commit suicide because of physical agony. How many cancer patients do we see commit suicide? Oh, I cannot take this pain of cancer anymore. I want to commit suicide. No, hardly you'll find any example of that. But vast majority of people who commit suicide, they commit suicide because they are sad, because they are depressed. Emotional pain. So when we give emotional pain to people, it is worse than physical pain. Shri Nimai Vishwambhar is a perfect example of proper conduct. He is always respectful to the people of this world. Mana dena. Amanina mana dena. He gives respect to others. Therefore, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu began to contemplate how miserable the world-renowned scholar Digvijay Pandit would become when he would be defeated. Shri Nimai Vishwambhar thought, if I defeated the conceited Digvijay in public, he would feel great misery at heart. Moreover, if he were defeated, he would be finished. He would certainly be harassed. All his wealth, elephants, horses, and other possessions would be forcibly taken away by others. And then the Brahman would merge in great shok, lamentation. Keeping all these considerations in mind, I will have to defeat the Digvijay Pandit in a secluded place. Secluded place. This is how sensitive, how considerate Shri Nimai Pandit is. People in general, they just need a reason to misbehave. I remember when I was in school, our school was around 3-4 kilometers away from our house. And we used to go in a cycle rickshaw, 3 wheels cycle rickshaw. And the rickshawala used to come every morning and pick us up. Me, my brother, and other friends from our gully, from our lane. And 10-12 of us kids, we were all elementary school age. And we used to go, and then he used to bring us back also in the same rickshaw. Every day we used to go, and in the rickshaw we used to have a good time. playing and cracking jokes and having a good time in the cycle rickshaw. And I remember our rickshawala, he was a Muslim man. His name was Hussaini. I still remember. And I remember a very ghastly scene. One day, we were playing cricket, and I saw this Hussaini cycle rickshawala sitting without clothes on the side of the road. And his face was swollen. I cannot forget that scene because I was just in elementary school. I must be in 4th grade or 5th grade. It was very ghastly scene for me. He was sitting like this. And he was my rickshawala. Every day, twice a day, we would sit with him. He would protect us. He would guard us. He would make sure that we reach the school properly. He would pick us up every day. So I was attached to him. So I went and I started asking people what happened. There was a pan patti there, the pan shop. So I asked him, what happened? Why Hussaini bhai has been beaten up like this? Why he's without clothes? So to my horror, that pan patti wala, he told me that he dropped some fellow here and he did not have change. The Sethji, who was given the ride by this rickshawala, he gave some money and Hussaini bhai did not have change. So he said, I don't have change. Either you give me change or let me keep the remaining money. So the Sethji got very angry. And there was a Hindu-Muslim angle to it also, because this rickshawala Hussaini bhai was a Mussalman. And this was a Hindu area. They got angry. Suddenly a mob collected. And, oh, what is this? You're not giving back the money, this, that. Maro. Mob tendency. They just need a small excuse to go crazy, go berserk. They just went crazy and they beat up the poor rickshawala, stripped all his clothes and left him like that. See, this is mob tendency. We have to be very careful. This dark side of human nature is very prominent in Kali Yuga. That's why, my dear friends, we should be in the association of devotees. This mob tendency is very bad, very nasty. When this bad dog in our heart will take over and we become like a rabid dog, there's nobody can predict. So then we went and we got some clothes for him from our house, got him some water to drink, and we sent him home. But this incident had a very deep impact on my heart. I understood how cruel. Now these people who beat him, their children, he was taking every day to school. And they turned on him for some very silly reason, very insignificant reason. But this is mob tendency. People just, even now you see there is some, something happens in the news, Black Lives Matter, somebody is killed, and what happens? They just storm Walmart, Target, and they just loot, and there is rioting. What is this rioting? Rioting is mob tendency. When Indira Gandhi was killed by a Sikh, so many Sikh people were murdered. When Mahatma Gandhi was killed by a Brahman, Nathuram Godse, so many Brahmins were killed in India. There were riots. Babri Masjid was broken, Hindu-Muslim riots. This is all mob tendency, tendency to do riots. It is simply because of spiritual emptiness. It is because of spiritual. Therefore, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says there is dearth of spiritual knowledge in this world. Can you imagine a Mahabhagavat behaving like this? A pure devotee behaving like this? Rioting, looting shops, burning people's home, committing arson, murdering people, attacking. This is simply a sign of spiritual emptiness in the heart. And this is unfortunately very prominent in Kali Yuga. Therefore, my dear friends, it is the greatest necessity in today's day and age to preach Krishna consciousness, to preach pure bhakti, Uttama bhakti. That is the only force, only power in this world that is going to save the people of Kali Yuga. Nothing else. Nothing else will work. No socialism, no vegan, no environmental friendliness, no democracy, no capitalism, this ism, that ism, this crusy, that crusy, nothing is going to work. It is all hollow and shallow. This world has seen so many movements. So the hippie movement, hippie, 1960s and 70s. Why? Oh, we don't agree with this government. We are anti-establishment. And the people who joined this anti-establishment movement, they saw what these hippies are doing. They are rebelling against the Vietnam War. Very good. They are rebelling against so many things that are wrong in society. Corruption, this, that. Okay, very good, agree. But then what do? Among themselves, they break the 4 regulative principles. They're intoxicating. They are themselves eating meat. They are gambling. They are breaking all the regulative principles. So they themselves don't have any spiritual character. What they will save the world? We can go on a campaign. We can have demonstrations. We can have candlelight vigils. We can do this. We can do that. But unless and until we have good character, we have sadachar, it is all waste of time. And good character comes through spiritual practice. Srila Prabhupada said that philosophy without good character is practically useless. It is useless. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is pointing out the depth of character of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He's so sensitive. Dukkha na paibe vipra garva hai bekshay virale se karibaya digvijay jay. Shri Nimai Vishwambar is thinking, therefore I will defeat this Digvijay Pandit in a private place so that his pride will be destroyed, but he will not be hurt. So this is a sign of a true devotee, expert Vaidya. Therefore Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is called Vaidya. He is the greatest doctor. He knows how to get the infection out. If the appendix is infected, we don't remove the whole intestine. Person will die without the digestive tract. No. If appendix is rotten, appendix is gangrenous, appendix is infected, you remove the appendix and the person will be cured. So if someone has pride, you remove the pride, but don't destroy the whole person. Our tendency is sometimes when we go and give feedback, we have so much anger. We ourselves don't know how much anger we have. So we give a feedback, the person may resist, may give some counter argument, and then to prove our initial statement correct, we will substantiate it by, no, but you did like that, you did like that. And everything we are speaking may be factual, but what is the end result? That person is completely discouraged, completely heartbroken. So we should not do. So then what we are doing? Operation successful, but the patient is dead. We got the infection out, but the patient died. What is the use of a successful surgery? Surgery is successful when the infection is out, but the patient lives. But many times what we do is operation successful, but the patient is dead. So that is not really success. I will defeat him in a private place so that his pride will be destroyed, but he will not be hurt. Garva haibekshaya. Pride will be gone. 58 verse. Ei mata Ishvara chintite se ikshane digvijay nishaya aila se sthane. While Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking in this way, night fell. Nisha means night. Night fell. And the Digvijay Pandit arrived at that spot. Hari Hari. There's going to be a confrontation now. Digvijay Pandit came there. Parama nirmala nisha purna chandravati kiba shobha hayya achena bhagirati shishya sange ganga tire achena ishvara ananta brahmande rupa sarva manohara. It was a clear full moon night and the Ganga looked most enchanting. Parama nirmala nisha purna chandravati kiba shobha hayya achena bhagirathi. And the Ganga, Bhagirathi river Ganga, looked most beautiful. Shishya Sange Ganga Tire Achena Ishwar, our Gauranga Ishwar is sitting with his students. Shishya Sange. Ananta Brahmande Rupa Sarva Manohar. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's attractive form was unmatched throughout the innumerable universes. Not just in the three worlds, upper, middle, and lower. That refers to this universe. But all Ananta Brahmande Rupa Sarva Manohar. Most beautiful form in all the universes. Now, something very interesting. In the purport, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ji writes, another reading of verse 59. Parama Nirmala Nisha Purna Chandravati Kibasho Bahaya Chena Bhagirathi. Another reading of verse 59 is Haribali Goranache Bahutuli Jagamana Bandhala Karuna Bola Bali Haribali Goranache Bahutuli. Raising his arms, our Gaura Chand, Gauranga Hari, is saying Hari Bali, Hari 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 Hari. Shri Gaura danced with his arms raised while chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. This is another reading of verse number 59. In certain editions of Chaitanya Bhāgavata, it is found like that. By his merciful chanting, he captured the minds of everyone. Jagamana Bandhala Karuna Bola Bali. By his Karuna, by his merciful chanting, Jagamana Bandhala. He captured the minds of everyone. Jagamana, everyone's minds he captured. This is an alternative reading of verse number 59. Sounds good, right? But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives us a word of caution. Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says, though this verse is found in some editions of Chaitanya Bhāgavata, it is inappropriate. See, there is something called as interpolation. Practically all our scriptures, unfortunately, they have interpolations. Srimad Bhagavatam does, Mahabharata does, and so does Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata. What is interpolation? So these Shastras are being brought down in the Parampara. Some unscrupulous people, they compose verses of their own and they interpolate them into the Shastra. So it is their own composition, but they put it in certain editions of the Shastra. And then that is printed or that is copied and it is passed down. So few generations down, people will think, oh, this is part of Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse. But actually it is not a verse composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It is by some other person. So these unauthorized interpolations are there. Therefore, we need acharyas. Therefore, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he had his own printing press where he would go through all this, find the authentic edition and publish it. Therefore, it is so important that we stick to what Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given us, what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given us, and what Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada has given us. These three acharyas. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote and published. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote and published. And of course, our Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ji, he wrote and he published through the BBT. So what these three acharyas have given us, we should remain very loyal to it. There are many Gaudiya Vaishnavas who have printed books, who have published books, who give classes from those books, but not all those books may be bona fide. And these are by senior devotees. We respect them as devotees, but we don't follow their teachings. We don't read their books. So we have to be careful. There is a lot of temptation to read books outside of ISKCON. But we have to be careful. One wrong thing we read, it will damage our faith. So we have to be very careful. There are great devotees who are living in the holy dham. And they have written books. And those books may not be in line with what? With the Bhakti Vinod Vani, Bhakti Siddhanta Vani, and Bhakti Vedanta Vani. And if it is not in line with Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vedanta Vani, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to read it. Because it is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada our Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, who are going to take us back home, back to Godhead. Not our spiritual grand uncles and great grand uncles. You have to be very careful. Better if someone just remains loyal to Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, only reads ISKCON book, not one book outside ISKCON, just what Prabhupada gave in ISKCON, BBT publications, chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, sings the Vaishnava bhajans that Srila Prabhupada gave, only hears from the ISKCON gurus, that person will for sure go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. Everything is there in ISKCON. Everything is there in ISKCON. One doesn't have to put one step outside the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. One may, for specific things. One may. Jaiva Dharma. I want to read. So I'm reading Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj's Jaiva Dharma. It is very nice because I know that Srila Narayan Maharaj loves Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada loves Srila Narayan Maharaj. This is a fact. Srila Prabhupada asked Srila Narayan Maharaj to put him into Samadhi. So, Srila Narayan Maharaj is a very great Acharya, Vaishnava Acharya. Very dear to Srila Prabhupada. Just go to Vedabase, go to Srila Prabhupada's letters and see how many letters Srila Prabhupada wrote to Srila Narayan Maharaj and how many letters Srila Narayan Maharaj wrote to Srila Prabhupada. See how many letters Srila Prabhupada wrote to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj and how much love Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj had for our Srila Prabhupada. So one has to choose very carefully. Very carefully. So therefore we are reading Jaiva Dharma by Srila Narayan Maharaj because Srila Narayan Maharaj is an Acharya, pure devotee and very dear to Srila Prabhupada, has rendered so many services to ISKCON, so many services to Srila Prabhupada. Similarly, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he is Acharya, pure devotee, very dear god brother of Srila Prabhupada. During the groundbreaking ceremony of the Chaitanya Chandrodaya Mandir in Mayapur Dham, Shridham Mayapur, when Srila Prabhupada was there, Srila Prabhupada invited Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. And publicly, Srila Prabhupada said to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj that Maharaj, you lead us. You lead ISKCON. Like that. So much love they had. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, no, Prabhupada, you are doing very nice, Swami Maharaj, you continue. So this is the love that Srila Prabhupada shared with his god brothers, Srila Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. So these are all very great personalities. So we should respect all of them. But what I'm saying is, if one simply reads what Srila Prabhupada has given, simply follow what Srila Prabhupada gave, definitely that person can get Krishna in this lifetime. There is no need to go anywhere else. This is the point I'm trying to make. Because there are very great Vaishnavas, I will not take name, very prominent Vaishnavas who have written things that are against the Siddhanta taught by our Srila Prabhupada, by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And these books are there. These books are there on the bookshelves of devotees in ISKCON. I have seen. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. Therefore, we have the ISKCON disciple course to teach devotees, to protect them. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says this verse is found in some editions, but it is inappropriate. It is not correct at this juncture. And how? This verse says, Hari Bali Gora Nache Bahutuli. Gaura danced with his arms raised and Jagamana Bandhala Karuna Bola Bali. And he raised his hands and said Hari Bol. And with his merciful chanting, he captured the minds of everyone. Sounds very nice, very sweet. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says this is inappropriate. Why? Now listen carefully. Because it is inconsistent with the meanings of the verses 52 and 68. We read 52. Go back to one page. Go back. Let's go back to verse 52. Verse 52 says, Dharma Katha, Shastra Katha, Ashesha Kautuke, Ganga Tire, Vasiya Achena Prabhu Sukhe. That Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is sitting with the students and he is having Dharma Katha and Shastra Katha with them. It doesn't say that he was dancing, saying Hari Bol with his arms raised. And then verse number 68. Therefore, that we have to go ahead. So from 59, let's go to verse number 68. Aneka mandali hai sarva shishyagan chaturdike basiya achena sushobhan. All the students sitting around him in groups created an enchanting scene. All the students sitting around him created an enchanting scene. So how can you see that Mahaprabhu is saying Hari Bol, standing, raising his hands and dancing when everybody else is sitting around him? It doesn't make sense. Therefore, Srila Saraswati Thakur says this is an interpolation. This is inappropriate. So I tried to make this point to warn all of us that we have to be careful. We have to remain loyal to the editions of the Shastra that our Acharyas have given, that Srila Prabhupada has given us. And Srila Prabhupada took Chaitanya Charitamrita from the Gaudiya Math that Srila Saraswati Thakur published. And Srila Saraswati Thakur published the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him. You see, this is parampara. Even Srimad Bhagavatam, when how Srila Prabhupada was translating Bhagavatam, where did Srila Prabhupada get Bhagavatam from? From Gaudiya Math. So we are one family. Srila Prabhupada translated it. So, verse number 61. Hasya yukta Śrī Chandra Vadana Anukshana Nirantara Divya Drishti Dui Shri Nayana. A smile decorated Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's moon-like face. Hasya yukta Śrī Chandra Vadana Anukshana. And his beautiful eyes showered merciful glances. Nirantara Divya Drishti Dui Shri Nayana. Dui Shri Nayana. Two beautiful eyes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Nirantara Divya Drishti. Divya Drishti. He was casting his transcendental merciful glance continuously. And Hasya Yukta Shri Chandra Vadana Anukshana. Very beautiful smile on his moon-like face. Muktajini Shri Dashana Aruna Adhara Dayamaya Sukomala Sarva Kalevara. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teeth defeated the luster of a string of pearls. Muktajini Shri Dashana. Muktajini Shri Dashana. His teeth, they defeated the luster of a string of pearls. Mukta means pearls. Muktajini. Jini means to defeat, to win over. Muktajini Shri Dashana. The teeth of Nimai Pandit were more beautiful than a string of pearls. And his reddish lips, Aruna Adhara. Adhara means his lips. Adhara Amrit is the Mahaprasad of Mahaprabhu. What Mahaprabhu has eaten. Adhara Amrit. It has the nectar from his lips. His reddish lips resembled the color of the rising sun. Aruna. Aruna Adhara. Dayamaya Sukomala Sarva Kalevara. Dayamaya, his form is full of compassion. Nimai Mahaprabhu's, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form is full of compassion. Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya. Namo Mahavadanyaya. Mahavadanyaya. Dayamaya. And Sukomala. Very soft, delicate limbs. Sarva Kalevara. Sukomala Sarva Kalevara. His entire transcendental body, Shri Nimai Pandit's entire transcendental body is very, very soft. Sukomala. Very beautiful. And full of compassion. Dayamaya. Dayamaya. Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya. Hemabha Divya Chavi Sundaraya. Divya Chavi. His divine form. Tasmai Maha Prema Rasa Pradaya. Prem and Daya. Kripa. Same. Tasmai Maha Prema Rasa Pradaya. Śrī Caitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Shrimasta Ke Suvalita Chanchara Śrī Kesha Simha Griva Gaja Skanda Vilakshana Vesha. Shrimastake Suvalita. His beautiful forehead, his head, Shri Nimai Pandit's beautiful head, Shri Mastaka, Suvalita Chanchara Śrī Kesha, was decorated very beautifully with curly black hair. Curly black hair. But curly black hair of Nimai are very soft. They are not rough. Not rough hair. Soft. Curly, soft black hair. Suvalita Chanchara Śrī Kesha. Śrī Kesha, very soft hair. His dress was divine. His dress was divine. And Simha Griva, his neck is like a lion, Gaura Simha. Simha Griva, Gaja Shankha, Gajas Khanda. Gajas Khanda means his shoulders were like a elephant. Vilakshana Vesha. And beautiful divine dress. Vilakshana Vesh. Shri Mastake Suvalita Chanchara Shrikesha Simha Griva Gajaskanda Vilakshana Vesha. Vilakshana means extraordinary, spiritual, divine, transcendental. Very beautiful description. Hasya Yukta Shri Chandra Vadana Anukshana Nirantara Divya Drishti Dui Shri Nayana Muktājini Shri Dashana Aruna Adhara Dayamaya Sukomala Sarva Kalevara Shri Mastake Suvalita Chanchara Shri Kesha Simha Griva Gaja Skanda Vilakshana Vesha Supra Kanda Shri Vigraha Sundara Hridaya Yajna Sutra Rupetahi Ananta Vijaya Suprakanda Shri Vigraha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body was very large and Sundara Hridaya, very attractive chest, was adorned with Yajna Sutra Rupe Tahi Ananta Vijaya. Ananta Vijaya, Shri Ananta Shesh, Nityananda Prabhu Balramji has taken the form of the Brahmin thread, Yajna Sutra of Nimai. Nimai Vishwambhar's Brahmin thread, Yajna Sutra, is not some ordinary thread. It is Lord Ananta who has taken the form of that Yajna Sutra. Even Nimai's footwear, his clothes, his garments, his garland, his Yajna Sutra, his umbrella, his bed, his chair, everything is Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Nityananda Prabhu is serving Mahaprabhu in that way. Shri Lalate Urdhva Suti Laka Manohara Ajanu Lambita Dui Shri Bhuja Sundara. Shri Lalate Urdhva Suti Laka Manohara. Shri Lalate, on the beautiful forehead of Shri Nimai Vishwambhar was a Urdhva Sutilaka, very beautiful Vaishnava tilak. Urdhva Pundra is our Vaishnava tilak. It is going upwards, vertical. An enchanting mark of tilak decorated Shri Nimai Pandit's forehead. And Ajanulambita Dui Shri Bhuja Sundara. His beautiful arms reached down to his knees. Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadhatau Sankirtanai Kapitarau Kamalayatakshav Vishwambharau Dvijavarau Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavatarau. This is the Mangalacharan verse of Śrī Caitanya Bhāgavata, the first verse of Śrī Caitanya Bhāgavata. Very beautiful verse, glorifying Shri Shri Gaura Nitai. Together. Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadhatau. Beautiful long arms up to their knees. And Kanaka, golden complexion. Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadhatau Sankirtanai Kapitarau. Sankirtanai Kapitarau. Shri Gaur Nitai are the fathers of the Harinam Prem Sankirtan movement. Sankirtanai Kapitarau Kamalayatakshav. Beautiful lotus eyes. Vishwambharau Yugavarau Yugadharma Palau. Our Nimai Vishwambhar and Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Yugadharma Palau. They are the protectors of the Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavatarau. Karunavatarau, both of them. Au refers to both of them. They are Karuna avatar, both of them. Incarnations of Dayamaya Tanu, Dayamaya Sukomal Tanu, Dayamaya Kalevara. They are Dayamaya. They are very Karuna avatar. They are incarnations of Karuna, compassion, mercy. आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैक पितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वंभरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वंदे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ. Dvijavarau, they are the best among the Brahmanas. Dvijavarau, Karunavatarau, Vande Jagat Priyakaru, and they are giving pleasure to the whole world. They are giving pleasure to the whole world. Vande Jagat Priyakaru, Karunavataru. They are benefiting everyone. Yoga Patta Chande Vastra Kariya Bandhana Vama Uru Majhe Thui Dakshina Charana. Shri Nimai Pandit wore his cloth like a sannyasi, and he sat with his right foot on his left thigh. Right foot on his left thigh. This is the whole darshan of Nimai. Verse 67. Karite achena Prabhu Shastrera Vakyana Hayanaya Karena Pramana. As Sri Nimai Pandit explained the scriptures, he established correct statements as incorrect and incorrect statements as correct. Hayanaya Karena Pramana. अनेक मंडली है सर्व शिष्यगण चतुर्दी के बसिया अच्छे न सुशोभन. All his students were sitting around him in groups and created a very enchanting scene. And there comes Keshav Kashmiri, the Digvijay Pandit. And now the conversation will take place between them. That we will discuss if Shri Nimai Vishwambhar gives us blessings and permission next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Hare Krishna. Śrī Caitanya Bhāgavata ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Mahashay ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand or you can unmute. So there is one question by Muktasanga Prabhu in the chat box. Ours is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Is Madhva followers and their books or their lectures not in line with Gaudiya Acharyas? They may be in line with the Gaudiya Siddhanta, and some of them may not be also. Some of them may be, they should be, but some may have a different opinion and they may not be in line with Gaudiya Sampradaya, because ultimately we are followers of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and some of the teachings of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are found in only Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So there may be some differences. Intelligent, mature devotee will reconcile and present it in a harmonious way, but some of them may not. So we have to be careful. I cannot generalize. So some may be in line, some may not be in line. Is it wrong hearing to Sri Madhvacharya followers or scriptures written by Shripad Madhvacharya himself? No, it is not wrong. In fact, it is very good. We should read Sripad Madhvacharya. In our purport, so many times our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, and even in the 11th canto, the BBT team of translators and editors, Srila Hridayananda Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu, and His Grace Dravida Prabhu, they have incorporated so many teachings of Shripad Madhvacharya in the 11th canto purports. So we should read. Shripad Madhvacharya is a perfectly bona fide acharya of our sampradaya. We belong to his sampradaya, Madhvacharya sampradaya. He is Bhim, he is Hanuman, he is Vayudev. All three of them incarnate in Kali Yuga, Shripad Madhvacharya. So Absolutely, we should read. If one is inclined, one can read the writings of Shripad Madhvacharya. Absolutely. And his bona fide followers, if they are speaking in line with Śrī Caitanya Vani, the teachings of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, or at least they are not contradicting, then we should hear. But ultimately, whose followers are we? Ultimately, we are the followers of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So if ever we have to choose one Acharya, it is Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, our Gaudiya Siddhanta is Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradara Napara. We don't have adar for anybody's Siddhanta, anybody's teachings as much as we have for Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So if we have to choose between Shripad Ramanujacharya, Shri Nimbarkacharya, Shri Vishnu Swami, Shripad Vallabhacharya, Shripad Madhvacharya, then no. Ultimately, we are followers of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. We belong to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's Sampradaya. And Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is our Ishtadev. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is our Acharya Dev. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is our Sampradaya Acharya. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is our everything. In fact, we don't even have to consider the parampara above Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Our parampara, even if it just ends with Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, that is enough. Because Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is Sakshat Bhagavan. Of course, Srila Prabhupada has given us parampara directly from Krishna. Krishna to Brahmaji, Brahmaji to Narad Muni to Vyasdev, Vyasdev to Shripad Madhvacharya, and then through Narhari and Lakshmi Pati Tirtha to Shripad Madhavendra Puri, and then Ishwar Puri Maharaj, and then Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But ultimately, even if we consider the parampara only till Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, that is all right. Because Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the Bhagwan of Shripad Madhvacharya also. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the Parameshwar. He is the Lord of all the Acharyas. All these four Sampradaya Acharyas, Shripad Madhvacharya, Shri Ramanujacharya, Shri Nimbarkacharya, Shri Vishnu Swami, they came to Navadvip to get blessings of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. It is there in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, in the Parikrama Khanda. So like that. So ultimately we are followers of Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. As long as other Acharyas are in line with Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, we follow. If there is anything that appears to be not in line with Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't accept that. We stick to Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahasaya, they are perfect acharyas representing Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Like Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. These are our everything. Their words, their literatures should flow in our bloodstream. Their words nourish us. Their words are our only diet. That's it. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Ajinkya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. So, Prabhu, I heard in the beginning, I think you said in the class that we should not hurt others' feelings, and we should respect others' feelings, and we should not hurt them. But I have seen, especially within our devotee community, sometimes while we preach to new devotees, or sometimes when we preach to even those who are practicing devotees, sometimes I have seen that devotees will speak directly from the Shastra, but sometimes what happens when we speak directly from the Shastra, sometimes it hurts the feelings of sometimes some heavy things when we speak from the Shastra, it hurts the feelings of other devotees. So how should we strike a balance that we speak the truth from the Shastra, but we speak in a way that is not hurtful to others, and they readily and happily accept it as well? So can you please throw some light on this, Prabhuji?
Yes, very important point, Ajinkya Prabhu. And there are only 2 ways to accomplish this. Your question is, how do we speak in a way that the people we are preaching to, especially the newcomers, they come closer to Krishna. At the same time, they have come with their own conditionings, their own ideas. They don't get hurt. Correct?
Yes,
so only there are 2 ways this can be accomplished. Only 2 ways. One, we should repeatedly hear Acharya Vani. We should hear how our acharyas, how our gurujan are preaching. If we hear, then we will know how to speak, because we should see how they are preaching, how our gurujan are preaching. We should see. Number two, what you are saying, that how do we, sometimes when we speak, we preach, we hurt them. So how to preach to them, correct them, give them the true siddhanta, at the same time not hurt them. Ajinkya Prabhu, this requires spiritual maturity, and this spiritual maturity only comes from strong, sincere sadhana, Nam Bhajan and Acharya Kripa. When we have Guru Kripa and we have pleased our Guru Maharaj with our bhajan and sadhana, then we get that clarity of intelligence, how to speak. This is not something you can learn in a MBA school or in some debate school, how to debate, how to talk, how to present. This comes from Guru Krishna Prasade. Guru Krishna Prasad. That enlightenment comes by the mercy of Guru. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyate kachita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. That Vivek Buddhi, how to discriminate, how to speak, what not to speak. This is a vibhuti of Krishna. Krishna is the expert speaker. When Krishna speaks to Arjun, Arjun is convinced. When Krishna speaks to Uddhav, Uddhav is convinced. That siddhi only Krishna has. And therefore, how to speak, how to preach. Like Shripad Narad Muni, whether he speaks to Mrigari or he speaks to Prachini Barhi, whoever he speaks to, Dhruv Maharaj, everyone becomes a perfect pure devotee. So this potency only our acharyas can give. It is not something that we can earn or have some sutras and 7 habits of highly effective people like that, write some books on how to know. This comes by realization, and realization comes with sincere sadhana. Therefore, we have to do a lot of Nam Bhajan, repeatedly hear from acharyas and do Vaishnava Seva. Then automatically we come to know what to speak, what not to speak. Is that okay? Ajinkya Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, that was very helpful. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So, Sandeep Prabhu, Mukta Sangha Prabhu, you want to say something? Your hand is up. Yes, Mukta Sangha Prabhu, please go ahead.
No, I was just that's a quick question actually. For Chaitanya Bhagavat, when you explain word to word translation. So where do you get it from? Is there a book? Because in the PDF what I have for the verses, right, word to word translation you do. Which word? I didn't know word to word translation. No, while explaining, you explain everything word to word meaning. Maybe Srila Saraswati Thakur has explained in the purport. Oh, is it okay? Because in the purport, there's one line purport. Many verses are just 1 line, 2 lines. But you explain while explaining, you explain word to word meaning. Now, I noticed. Maybe because those. I don't know which words you're talking, but maybe they are common words. So I'm just saying. Maybe. Oh, what I do, I look at the translation, Prabhu, and I try to map it to the words of the Bengali. Okay. Okay, skanda means shoulder, griva means neck, like that. So that's why. There's no other book because the PDF what I have doesn't have all that. So yeah, even mine doesn't have. The PDF that you have is same as this book. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. This is okay, Prabhu. 8:30 to 9:30 in summer because 8 o'clock is too early. For kids are playing. Actually, in fact, today it worked out for me also because I came from temple at 8:20 because we had Narsinga Chaturdashi today. Acha. So I came only at 8:20, so it worked out for me. But yeah, every week it's okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. So we'll end up quickly. It's already 9:40. Sandeep Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So Prabhuji, you talked about this interpolation. So I just wanted to understand. We are reading, say, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I would hope that Srila Prabhupada, because he gave words by words translation and all the verses, so all the interpolations, if they were there, they would be removed, or
yeah, they are removed. They are removed, and how they're removed, how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada removed them is because we are in Parampara, they saw the commentaries of Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And whichever verses they had not commented on, they deleted it. They did not include like that. Okay. So what we have by the BBT is a perfect authorized edition of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Nice, Guruji. Thank you. Because you gave one reference of that verse, na? And where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says that, oh, this is not appropriate. So I thought maybe in that Chaitanya Bhagavat there was some verse like that, but I never observed any such verse in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, the copy which we have.
Which verse?
I think you just talked in one of the verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his hands and says Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Yeah. So that is not there, correct. So some editions have it, but Srila Saraswati Thakur says that it is not a bona fide verse. So we have not included. But the Chaitanya Bhagavat that we have, this is Gaudiya Math publication. What we are reading, this is Gaudiya Math.
Okay.
With Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary on it. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada took it from Gaudiya Math. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Prabhupada took it from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur published in Gaudiya Math. So it's all authorized by our acharyas. So we have nothing to worry now.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
So after Srila Prabhupada's departure, Srila Hridayananda Goswami Maharaj, he wanted to do a translation of Mahabharata. So he took a Mahabharata and he tried to do verse by verse translation, Sanskrit to English. But then he found so many editions of Mahabharata and there were so many interpolations. There were chapters which were interpolated. So then I have heard that then Hridayananda Maharaj gave up. He said, forget it. I will not do it. So like that. So yeah, some Shastras there is a problem. But with Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, even Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter.
Yes.
You have heard that, right?
Yeah,
the first verse, many editions say that it is not bona fide. Srila Prabhupada has included that because our acharyas have made a commentary on that. So anyway, so Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, these are the most important scriptures, Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu, Upadeshamrita. And these are all fortunately published by Srila Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada in Gaudiya Math. So we have the authentic, even Brahma Samhita is there. So we have enough, Prabhu.
Yes.
Enough for our spiritual nourishment, more than enough. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Parima Mataji, last question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Do you have time or you are just late? Or I can ask next time? I can ask. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, first of all, Dandavat Pranams. I mean, all your classes, I love to attend and they're nectarian. This question, it has been lingering in my mind and I hope I'm not kind of creating any controversy, Prabhuji. I just want to put forth this idea that
whenever any devotee says that, I get scared.
Sorry, Prabhuji, because it's not to scare anyone, Prabhuji. I mean, I understand, but this thing is there that all acharyas, like Vallabhacharya, Ramanujacharya, Nimbarka or Madhava, they all had attained Krishna, of course, or in different ways, of course, different approaches. And they are acharyas in their own rights. They all had the vision of Krishna, and all people those who follow them also go to the spiritual world. Of course, I don't know in what rasa and what mood. And besides that, like 1,000 years ago and 2,000 years ago, there were no sampradayas as such, like we have them, like clearly demarcated sampradayas as we have them today. Krishna Bhakti is very sweet in general. So how do we come to an agreement with all these differences? Because then otherwise, sometimes in the name of exclusiveness, we end up as fanatics. And then we are labeled. I mean, I'm not telling you, but there are some people who label us as fanatics. So how do you, what is your idea on this, Prabhuji?
One has to be loyal to one's own acharya. One has to be loyal to one's own acharya. And one should respect all the bona fide acharyas. A wife respects everyone in the family, respects her own parents, respects her father-in-law, mother-in-law, her brother, sister, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, her children, her nephews, nieces, respects everyone. Correct?
Yes.
But has the relationship of a wife only with one person. That is her husband. That relationship cannot be had with anyone else in the family.
That's true.
There is only one husband, only one pati. So we respect everyone, we care for everyone, all the acharyas, but our husband is only one guru. Our husband is only one guru.
Yes.
Unless we are completely loyal and devoted to one acharya, we cannot walk the path back home, back to Godhead. Prem gali ati sakhari tame do na samay. The Prem gali, the lane of love, is very narrow. Two cannot fit. In a sheath, only one sword can fit. Two swords cannot fit. You see?
Yes. Yes.
So in our heart, we can give our heart only to one acharya, one ishta. Not too many. Yes, it is true that all these acharyas are showing us path back home, back to Godhead, and the followers of Nimbarkacharya, followers of Madhvacharya, followers of Shripad Ramanujacharya, Srila Vishnu Swami, they are all going back home, back to Godhead, 100%. Yes, no doubt about it. Srila Prabhupada said that the true followers of Jesus Christ go to Brahmalok. So they are also going. Yes, Srila Prabhupada said. Those who are true followers of Jesus Christ, they go to Brahmalok, and then Brahmaji will take them back to the spiritual world from there. So there is no doubt. Everybody is on their, everybody who is following the true path of transcendence, they are on their way back home, back to Godhead. And why this is so? Because Krishna likes variety. Krishna doesn't eat khichdi only. Krishna likes paneer sabji, he likes puri, he likes sandesh, he likes halwa. Krishna likes variety. So yes, there is Shripad Ramanujacharya. He has his own flavor. Shripad Madhvacharya has his own flavor. Nimbarkaditya has his own flavor. Shripad Nimbarkacharya, Shripad Vishnu Swami, they have their own flavor. So yeah, this is there. There will be variety in the spiritual world. There variety in the spiritual. Even in Golok Vrindavan, there is variety. There are different Yutheshwaris, and they have their own specialization. Champaklata Sakhi has her own unique specialization. Tunga Vidya Sakhi has her own uniqueness. Vishakha Sakhi, Lalita Sakhi, Sudevi Sakhi, they have their own uniqueness. They have their own Nikunja. They have their own Yutha. Yutha means their own group of maid servants. And they have their own Nikunja in which they welcome Radha and Krishna. Lalita Sakhi will welcome Radha and Krishna in a different rasa, in a different flavor. Vishakha Sakhi will welcome in a different rasa. So will these other Sakhis like Tunga Vidya Sakhi, Champa, is all there in Prem Bhakti Chandrika of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So actually, Ananya had told me once that please share with me about the different Ashtasakhis. I will do it. I will take photos and I will send you. So all this is there. In Ujjwal Nilamani of Srila Rupa Goswami, he gives great detail about this variety. Even in the Radha Krishna Ganodesh Deepika of Srila Rupa Goswami, all this is mentioned. Different Yutheshwaris and the different way they serve, the different Manjari Sevas. So this variety is there, and different acharyas come from different yuthas. So they will have their own unique flavor. I'm talking about acharyas who are leading us to Golok Vrindavan. And then there are many acharyas who take us to Vaikuntha. So they have their own flavor. And spiritual world is unlimited. This material world has so much variety. And material world is an insignificant part of Krishna's creation. Spiritual world is 3 times bigger. So there's so much more variety there. And there are material, so many universes. So in the spiritual world also, there are so many planets, spiritual planets, with so much Leela going there. There are so many pure devotees there. So the acharyas are representing their own dhara. And they are all perfect. So we should respect them all. But we follow only one acharya. You understand? We can respect different acharyas. But how many acharyas can you follow?
One.
Yeah.
One. And that's our Gaur.
Huh?
That's our Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
That's our Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But even among followers of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, there are people who say that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not bona fide. And they are writing books. That's why I'm warning.
Yes, actually, I have also come across that, Prabhuji.
So we should not listen to such people. They may be devotees. Let them be devotees. But if they don't have regard for Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we don't want to look at them. We don't want to read their books. Not at all. We respect them for their devotion. We respect everyone. We don't disrespect anybody. We wish them well and we bow down to everyone. But we will follow only one. And that is our dhara of Srila Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, our 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Bas. This is our line. This is where we are getting our nourishment from. Anyone who respects this, pranam hai. But anyone who does not respect this, we keep a distance. We will not open our ears, and we will most definitely not open our hearts to such people. They may be great devotees, and all glories to them. But we will not talk to them, we will not associate with them, and we will most certainly not read their books and not listen to their lectures. No need. Why? We are married. Does a wife look at other men because they're handsome? No. Why should we? We have to be chaste to our husband. Our spiritual master is our husband. My Gurudev told me very clearly, I have a recording I can share with you. 2007, when I got initiated, he said, respect everyone, and all these acharyas are showing us path back home, back to Godhead. But in our life, we can follow only one acharya, and that acharya is Srila Prabhupada. Those who are followers of Srila Prabhupada, they are our real family. They are the family we want to grow with. They are the family we want to be with. They are the family we want to serve with. But we respect everyone. But this is the family we want to be with, we want to grow with, we want to serve with. As far as I am concerned, I have nothing in my life except service to Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, all of you can please me by serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON in the mood of the servant, of the servant, of the servant. These are the instructions I received from my Gurudev during my initiation lecture on the holy disappearance of Srila Ramananda. I have it recorded in my phone, I can share with you. And this is the policy that I live by. I respect everybody, and but Srila Prabhupada's books are the foundation of my spiritual life. To nourish, I may read from some acharyas who were very dear to Srila Prabhupada, and who I am convinced in my heart love Srila Prabhupada and gave their life for Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada loved them. But I don't read from others, and I don't hear from others. It is not required. In my life, I have been very fortunate to have some very good association, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm simply trying to share that good fortune according to my limited capacity. So remember, we should respect everyone, but it is not possible to follow the instructions of everyone. So we follow instructions of only one acharya, and that is Srila Prabhupada and the true followers of Srila Prabhupada. That is where our real loyalty is, that is where our faith is, and that is our path back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada will lead us to the Ras Leela. Is there anything higher than that?
No, Prabhuji.
Why we should bother about others? They may talk about different things, and that is very good for them. But we will not follow their instruction. We will do bhajan according to what Srila Prabhupada told. We will chant mantra that Srila Prabhupada gave. And we want to serve as a servant of the servants of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is giving us Manjari Bhav. Srila Prabhupada is giving us entrance in Golok Vrindavan. There is nothing higher than that. There is nothing higher than that. Now the followers of other paths, they should think that their acharya is the best. That is good for them. And we should think that our acharya is the best. Not out of comparison, but absolute best. On a spiritual, not in a competitive spirit. My acharya is a little bit more advanced than your acharya. You know, my acharya has more.
Happens. That really happens. Competition.
So that is a stupid mentality. That is a foolish mentality. That is an offensive mentality. There is no competition among the acharyas. Acharyas are not in a corporate world. They are not part of any rat race. I have got more chelas than you. I have got more this than you. I have got more fame than you. Or I am more advanced. I am more closer to Radharani than you. What is this? There is no competition between pure devotees. Pure devotees are pure devotees. There is no competition between them. So we should not compare acharyas. तारतम्य नहीं करना चाहिए कि ये this is more, this is more, this is less. नहीं. That is offensive. For us, our acharya is best. Why? Because our acharya is perfect in delivering us to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. What else is required? Is there anything higher than attaining the lotus feet of Radha Gopinath? Nothing. Can our acharya do that? Yes. Finished. End of discussion. Let others do what they want. We respect them. We wish them well. And Krishna's family is wonderful. Krishna is having Chappan Bhog. And we are one Bhog that Krishna is going to enjoy. And we should try our best so that Krishna enjoys us. But we should have complete nishtha for our Gurudev. Dhruv Maharaj does not go in the forest and say, I got some mantra from Narad Muni, but let me see if there are some Vrajrasik Vaishnavas here in Vrindavan. No, he took mantra from Shripad Narad Muni and followed it. And so did Prahlad Maharaj. So did all our acharyas. So we should be also like that. एक भरोसो, एक बल, एक आस विश्वास, रामचंद्र घनश्याम और चातक तुलसीदास. First, we should have one bharoso, ek bharoso, ek aas, ek bal, ek vishwas. Full faith, one pointedness, like a chatak bird. This is my Gurudev. What my Gurudev will give is everything for me. Sometimes I test devotees. Sometimes. Because that is my service. They may say that I want to get initiation from a particular guru. And I say that, Prabhu, it's a long wait. There are devotees waiting for 8 years. But if you want, you can wait. If you want, you can take from some other guru. There are so many bona fide gurus. And some of them say that, no, I cannot wait so long. What if I die? What if I die? Durlabha manava janma. So that is also correct. Okay, you get connected to the parampara. Take diksha from any bona fide guru. And then there are some devotees that tell me that, Prabhuji, even if I don't get initiation, even if I die uninitiated, it's okay. But I cannot give my heart to any other guru because I have already accepted this guru in my heart as my spiritual master. Now it is up to the guru whether the guru accepts me or rejects me. So we have to be eknisht. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. Bahushaka hyarantasya buddhaya avyavasayana. Avyavasayana. We should be one pointed. So we respect everyone, but we can follow only one guru. And what happens, Mataji, Parima Mataji, if we start comparing that, oh, my Gurudev, he's traveling so many places, he's here, he's there, but look at this, they are living in Vrindavan, they are Brajbasis, they are more advanced than our Guru Varga. Advancement does not come from living in Vrindavan. Advancement comes from pleasing Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. If someone is traveling to Bangladesh, someone is traveling to Africa, Australia, America, South America, Europe, and preaching, as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is instructed, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, amar agya guru haya tara ei desh. So who is pleasing Mahaprabhu more? You see? So we don't want to compare, but we should have this thasak, we should have this strong faith and transcendental pride that my Gurudev is perfectly situated in pleasing Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. My Gurudev is a Gaur Priya Jan. My Guru Maharaj is a Gaur Premi Jan. That's all that matters. We do not want to compare, because when we compare, what will happen? We will start doubting our Gurudev. Why our Gurudev is not doing like this? Why this person is doing like this? Maybe this is more advanced. Maybe this is little less. Maybe he has got more attachment. Maybe he's doing more Naam Bhajan than my Gurudev. All these negative thoughts, they come, Mataji, when we compare between different acharyas. So we have to understand one thing. A pure devotee is a pure devotee. There is no competition. There is no competitive spirit among pure devotees in a mundane sense. No. No. There is no competitive spirit. Acharya is Acharya. We should not compare between different disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Who was more advanced? No, that is offensive to think like that. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave many pure devotees to this world. Many pure devotees. Our Prabhupada, Srila Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, Srila Akinchan Das Krishna Babaji Maharaj, Srila Madhav Maharaj. So many great devotees, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. So many pure devotees. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada gave so many pure devotees to this world. Now, are we going to sit and compare among Srila Prabhupada's disciples in ISKCON, which Acharya was the most advanced? No, that is not a negative, that is a very negative thinking. We should not do like that. We should have faith that my Gurudev is a pure devotee. And there are many other pure devotees also. And they are all working cooperatively in the mission of Mahaprabhu. I respect everyone. I listen to the katha, satsang of everyone. But as far as following instructions is concerned, I follow my Gurudev, my Diksha Guru, in line of Srila Prabhupada. That is how we should think. Is that helpful, Mataji?
Very helpful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this clarification. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
There is no point. There is no question of being fanatic, because we respect everyone. We respect everyone. But we have to understand there is competitiveness among conditioned souls. There is no competitiveness among pure devotees. Okay?
We do, because we do find, if we hear something against our sampradaya, some different sampradaya, not against, but they kind of speak in a way that, oh, so then I feel very offended. When we do come across devotees from different sampradayas, and sometimes they say, oh yeah, but our guru is is like this, and tum log mein aisa hota hai. So then I feel really, it's because I really follow Gaurang Mahaprabhu, but I really feel very much offended if somebody says like that. So that's why that comparison thing comes, of course, because I am a conditioned soul and they are also conditioned souls. But that's why I thought, let me ask this question.
Better not to associate with devotees who talk negatively.
Yeah, that's
better
true.
Not to associate.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Last question, Nidhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, do you have a time?
Yes, Mataji. One last question.
Prabhuji, as per you just mentioned about the guru, you said, I also have a feeling that I cannot accept anyone else without the one guru I have in my mind. So what happens to the devotee who, in case if they die without taking the initiation?
Initiation is not necessary for someone to go back home, back to Godhead. As long as हमने गुरु वरण किया है, we have accepted Guru in our heart. That is enough. We have accepted Guru in our heart and we are following that Guru. Our life is perfect. Initiation is important. It's sacred, but it's ultimately a formality. The day you take Guru Padashraya, you are protected. You are connected to the parampara. You are connected to the parampara. Just listen to that one Guru Maharaj and follow the instructions nicely and pray for Guru Kripa. If you get an opportunity, you can Hare Krishna, you can ask Guru Maharaj for initiation. Or if Guru Maharaj says no, then you can ask Guru Maharaj, then who should I approach? There was one devotee in Delhi. He was sold out to Sripad Ayendra Prabhu. Ayendra Prabhu was his life and soul. Every weekend he would come to Vrindavan, sit in the 24-hour kirtan, go to Ayendra Prabhu's room. He asked Ayendra Prabhu for initiation. Ayendra Prabhu said, Prabhupada never told me to initiate, so I will not initiate. He kept asking for a few years. Then he said, so then who should I take initiation from? Because initiation is important. So Sripad Ayendra Prabhu said, you take from this person, this devotee. And then he took from that devotee. So like that, one can ask one's Gurudev, if we are not getting initiation, then Guru Maharaj, what should I do? What is your agya? What is your order? You tell me. And either Guru Maharaj will say, you take from such and such Guru, or Guru Maharaj will give. But let Guru Maharaj take that decision. What is in our domain and what is in Guru Maharaj's domain? Our domain is to take Guru Padashraya, to hear the instructions of Gurudev and follow those instructions in our life. Giving Diksha is not in our domain. It is in Guru Maharaj's domain. Giving us Swarup Siddhi, Guru Maharaj domain. Taking us back to Godhead, Guru Maharaj domain. So we should do what is our responsibility. And what is in Guru Maharaj's hands, we should leave it to Guru Maharaj. Is that okay, Nidhi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, is it okay to think that way? Because hamesha aise hota hai, every day, matlab man mein yahi ख्याल आता है कि आई एम लेकिंग समवेयर, मेरी तरफ से कुछ अगर होगा, मतलब आई एम नॉट probably doing the right, I'm not doing right bhakti. Maybe that is the reason Guru Maharaj is not
नहीं
accepting.
माता जी, ऐसा नहीं है। और देखिए, ट्रेडिशनली अगर देखा जाए तो माता जी वुड नॉट इवन टेक इनिशिएशन। आपके घर में जो वरिष्ठ लोग हैं, उन्होंने ऑलरेडी दीक्षा ली है, तो वो आपके गुरु ऑटोमेटिकली है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कुल धर्म, ऑलरेडी आपके गुरु है। सो आपको कुछ भी फिक्र करने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप गुरुवाणी सुनिए और बिल्कुल एक निष्ठ रहिए एट द लोटस फीट ऑफ श्रील गुरुदेव। फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस वेरी नाइसली। यू आर ऑलरेडी इनिशिएटेड, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है। यू आर ऑलरेडी इनिशिएटेड बिकॉज योर होल फैमिली इज इनिशिएटेड बाय गुरु महाराज। सो एज द बहू ऑफ द फैमिली, यू आर 100% इनिशिएटेड। Guru Maharaj may give you formally initiation. That is my prayer. That may happen. I hope that happens. I pray that happens. नहीं हुआ तो भी you are completely protected. And you can ask Guru Maharaj when you meet Guru Maharaj, what is the agya for me? What is the instruction for me? But just consider yourself to be a disciple and behave like a disciple. Be like a disciple. ठीक है?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very
Stop
nice
here.
answer. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Muktanga Prabhu, sorry. बहुत लेट हो गया. See you all tomorrow.